Alright guys, we're over here at Knee House Cycle Sales today with
Mark Holmeyer.
And we're going to take this puppy on a test ride and give y'all a review of it. And if you guys like that review, you come over here and see Mark out. Check out Mark and he'll hook you up.
I got you.
Let's see how it rides. I can tell you right now, guys, that this puppy is a lot taller than the Rebel, especially with these knobby tires on it. That's a good looking panel right there. And it's a more standard seating position. It feels really nice to sit on. I'm 6 foot tall, and I'm definitely tiptoeing a little bit. Smooth transition there. Well, it's kind of like a big ass Grom in the positioning and everything. I haven't been on a standard bike other than the Grom for a while. Oh yeah, it's a long step down. Oh look guys, it's got 0 miles. How about that? Look at, I like the instrument panel. That's really nice. Horn, everything just the same as Honda. Okay, but that's really nice. Let's see a gear indicator. Okay guys, there's the gear indicator. At first impression, I'm gonna tell you that this is it feels much more substantial and much better put together. The ride's better than the Rebel. Everything's better than the Rebel. Oh God, I hate to say that, guys, but it feels really nice. Yeah, for the money, this would be a good way to go. Oh, you can actually adjust that windshield a little bit, which would be a good thing. I'm not gonna thinking no miles on it. It's got knobby tires. That means we've got to take it really slow. You know, because we could inadvertently make an easy mistake. Okay, there we are. Hello. We look good. Feeling good. Comfortable. Boy guys, I'm really liking this. It feels good. Yeah, you guys should go out and ride one of these puppies. You know, it's the 500, so it's got the same engine across the CB500R, the Rebel. It's all the same engine, right? Now on these particular there's 3, I think, of the CB500Xs, Rs, and maybe an M or whatever at the end, but they have a tooth, an extra tooth on the sprocket on the back. The Rebel has 1 tooth less, I believe, so it has like more low end torque, and you can definitely, this does not feel as grunty in the low gears as the Rebel does. It is smoother, and you know that what's going to happen to this bike, right? You know what's going to happen to it. It's going to get rode a lot because we have to upgrade somebody to get where we want to go, right? On the back roads. That windshield seems to be really doing. I feel it a little bit on my shoulders. What was it doing, about 44? I like the seating position. Let's see, on the Rebel, I have a tendency for my legs to spread out because I'm kind of low in the seat. This one here, it feels much more natural to hug up on it, like you really should ride. And look at this big fat tank, guys. I mean, that's a 4-gallon tank. You can't fight that. You can get a 300-mile range out of this at least. Definitely a 300-mile range from everything I read, and I would believe it. But I do feel that right now it's in 6th gear that it needs another gear. Oh, but it don't got one. It just stops at 6. But it definitely could use it. But this is definitely going to be a bike that can eat up the miles in a comfortable position. Okay guys, we're coming up on 20 miles into this ride. I'm probably going to ride about 100 miles. And I thought I'd say a few things about this so far. I'm still loving it. I don't think I'm not going to not love it. It's perfect. But this is not a true ADV bike. I mean, for these really hard-hitting wildcatters that get out there and tear up the roads and the dirt roads and everything, you want a full-frame bike if you're going to be one of those guys. You know, if you're going to be hard-hitting and just tearing it up, right? But Honda, now not on the Africa Twin, but on a lot of their bikes, they don't use a full frame any longer. They use the engine as part of the mechanism that holds the whole bike together. And this one is like that also. Now, I've watched a ton of videos. People are using this bike pretty roughly, and it seems to be holding together good. It's a bike that's actually been out for a long time. They made a lot of upgrades in 2019 though, as far as the suspension on this bike is really nice. I'm really liking the suspension. It's very smooth. You got, I think it's either 4 or 7 inches more travel in the front forks, which brings it a lot more into them dirt road, you know, situations where you know I'm gonna scramble-ize the Rebel, so it won't ever have this ride. This is so much better. It would need a skid plate for the engine and an engine cage, in my opinion. Actually, they have a really nice engine cage for 220, I think I've seen online, that hugs the engine instead of sticking out this way. And I think that would be the way to go for aesthetics only. The windshield definitely does the job. I haven't had it over 55. It's a new bike. I shouldn't be riding it, you know, any faster than you're supposed to during your break-in phase anyway. You got to seat them rings. But I can definitely tell the windshield helps a lot. I'm still getting as much noise, but that's my helmet that's playing into that. And it's a very beautiful bike. I mean, I'm sure that if you get on the Africa Twin, and I did get on the Africa Twin, but I didn't ride it. I don't think that the difference in the money makes the African Twin worth it, though. Now, if you put it up next to a BMW or something like that, I'm sure that's a whole different class of bike. Even if it is still the same weight class, it's a different manufacturer. It's you know, it's fancy. It's very fancy. I was looking at the Twin, and it has all kinds of stuff where you can integrate your telephone with your display and all kinds of stuff. None of that kind of stuff would interest me in the least. At 6 foot tall, I cannot flat foot this bike. Even with the stock tires on, I couldn't flat foot it. I can get the balls of my feet down, my toes, right? And that's something to remember if you're going onto a bigger bike, because you have, I think, 7.5 inches of ground clearance between the engine and the ground, which is huge compared to the Rebel that I ride. Only has like 5 inches. So yeah, if somebody, say you was going from a Grom to this bike, you'd really have to watch that, because you get muscle memory involved in putting down your feet on a bike. I really like this bike a whole darn lot. Anyway, let's see if I still like it in 70 or 80 miles. Well, I have discovered that at 60 miles, now you gotta remember, I haven't ridden much this year. You know, just haven't, sorry. At 60 miles, my ass has gone dead. Just total dead ass. But I don't know if it's the seat's fault. I'm kind of doubting it. I mean, it's kind of natural for me to get dead ass this time of the season when you first start riding. Anyway, I'm 60 miles in, still looking good, feeling good. Woo! Now you know that this, I don't know if I told you already, but the 2019 model, this is the 2020. It actually went to a 19-inch front tire. So, oh yeah, I think I did tell you that. So they got more ground clearance, right? But anyway, just was thought I'd let you know about my ass. I know it's important.
Okay, here's my opinion. It was 95-mile ride. This is the bike. It's beautiful. See the fat knobby tires? Yeah, this is something that I can definitely live with. If you're vertically challenged, you might want to think about a few things, but I 100% would give this bike my A-OK. I love it. I do love it. I'm going to have to do a comparison between the Rebel and this, but it's a total different shootout game with this bike, and it changes everything.